Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. And we are embarking on a new thing. Daena has been getting messages from her Andromedans and very connected with them. And they have agreed to basically do what we'll call a question and answer session with them. Daena is not privy to these questions beforehand, nor are her Andromedans. So this is new to them. And I do believe we have a lot of the galactic family in our corner today watching. So let me start with Stephanie, and I will be doing some alternating with questions. The first question I'm going to start with is about angels. So the question is, are angels real, or are they actually higher extraterrestrial beings? Asking because the Bible has been altered so many times. And the caveat, or secondly to that, is our current Bible that we have. Is it a mixture of both truth and fake stories? Is it true that there are many lost books of the Bible that when discovered will change everything? And will that be known to us soon?
There are many great books in your libraries. But you must know, when you search for truth, the ultimate truth you will find inside of your own souls. You can read great many books, but always remember to be very diligent in the information you acquire from them. Only invite those in that feel right for you in your soul level, because your soul knows everything. Your soul is part of creation, really. Question comes in many parts. We will answer all questions. Life comes in very many forms. Your current frequency level, we mean the collective of human, like the frequency of human collective, resonates in a level that doesn't allow majority of you to see all life. You see what stands in front of you in quite a dense formation. Higher vibrational energy comes without physicality. Because of this, you find it very difficult to think it is real if something comes beyond your description of skills. There are great many people in the universe. Your human race is not the main alien race to us. There are many ET races. We don't like the A word really because of the connotations it's been given. There are many higher dimensional life forms, but not all life forms are of extraterrestrial origin. As life moves through the cycles of, they show me a kind of a long line of evolution. So you start something almost inanimate, like something very solid, doesn't move, light doesn't shine through. It's a very solid block of something, just an element or just an object of something, and then it moves and it starts to move and it becomes a life form with organic basically hands and feet. And then the evolution starts, and they show me like more lights gets integrated into our vessels, into our life forms. And as the light comes brighter and brighter, the movement of energy gets faster and faster. When energy moves so fast, it's basically in the end you become pure light and you cannot see the form anymore. So these are the higher dimensionals, and these would be angels. When it comes to the book, you posed the question of we consider it to be a political pamphlet. How it was created, by whom it was created, which parts are being left out. Really, in the end, you don't need any book to search for wisdom. Look into your souls and you know the truth.
That's
if
beautiful.
you find consolence in the book, like they show almost like I have this notebook that I carry absolutely everywhere.
Mhm.
It's like if you find consolence, like they show me someone who's pressing the book against their chest. If you find consolence in the book, know that the book actually is good for you. And there is no discrepancy here. This would be because you have given what you give energy and attention to rises in frequency. It's almost like this is a depository of love, of physical love. This becomes an extension of you. Do everything you do it with intention, do it with love, set energy to it, focus and see it. It's almost like the energy just flies through. And because your so-called great books, and not only the Christian religion is only with these great books, because people have projected these very positive energies to them, they actually, as items, can become helpful for those to whom it brings consolence to. Just don't give it power over you. Don't, it's almost like don't sell yourselves short. Don't let anything become greater than you are. You need to kind of hold in the reins, but don't deprive yourselves. If you feel comfort, if you feel love in something, there's no harm in reaching out to that either.
That's beautiful.
We hope we have answered your questions. If you have further questions on this subject matter, we are happy to answer.
Thank you so much for that answer. And we'll see if there is anything to expound on. So Stephanie, you are next.
Are there ETs living among us at this time? Did they come to help the Alliance, or did they start the Alliance? And secondly, if they are indeed living amongst us, what job capacity are they in? Government, military, or something else?
We must first say that we will not give anything that, in terms of information, that would pose any more chaos into your human collective than you already have been faced with, what you are being fed with. Nor do we give information, even as visions, to any of you that would pose a threat, a security threat to any of you. So we will, it's almost like they will give they show a gate, like they will close the gate in kind of a proportion to the answer that is good to come through. So now they're kind of so they asked me to explain how I get these answers is I'm in conversation basically with my galactics, and this is something they asked me to address almost immediately at the very beginning. Everyone has connection to their galactics. Everyone has connection to their angelics. Everyone has connection to their soul. Everyone has connection to the source. You can find all of these questions yourself, but they are very kind of they feel very eager to come through, because humanity has been given so much that is untrue. And oftentimes they've told me that humanity as a collective, we've come now to a point that we are living, it's the time, it's like an era of revelations already have started. So it's almost like, okay, now they're coming through. They just want to say with their own words, with their own sentences. We've chosen to appear on this time, and this also begins to answer your question. We've chosen to come at this time because we are coming in the age of human collective. However, there is a very important law that is not to overstep, and that is the law of non-interference. But when we are asked to participate, we are no longer interfering, which is the time when we can come through and help humanity. We are now helping through with giving some answers that hopefully will clarify situations. We also are willing and welcoming other chances to come through. Logistics, which will be discussed later, we are certain. But we also want to ensure you that all of you are capable of reaching to this connection, but we do urge you to protect yourselves before reaching out.
Mhm.
You would be surprised how much traffic there is amongst you. There is integration on several levels. Look at the children, they are showing me very young babies that are being born amongst your human collective. Oftentimes they radiate. They come here without karma. They come here because they come as teachers to show you the way to a completely new era, new way of being, which your current humanity really has no understanding, no experience yet. We come to you as hybrids as well, because your planet's density makes it very difficult for us to stay in. We have observed life through our connections. We have several connections. We have seen the challenges you face here. We've remained mindful of them as well. So these hybrid humans that you have oftentimes are here to both communicate as a bridge between us and you humans, but also here to work and assist, because integration of the coding and of the lights and altered DNA often comes at birth already. So further integration comes more naturally, and it is not as painful as it would be to a completely, they show me a human with just human DNA. When it comes to certain groups you mention, we choose to not answer those.
We respect that.
Yes, we do. And the next question that follows with that is on that line. And I understand if this is something that you, again, I think this pertains to information you don't want to share, but it was about the hybrid species. And so let me ask, that means that there are amongst us those hybrids, and there are still some that are polarized to the bad, and there still are some good that are helping us in humanity. Is that true? And is it true that we all come in as we are born with the DNA of galactic families? And then the question was to ask if there was really such a thing as what they call CLONES, I don't want to say the word, or NPCs. NPCs. So, you know what I mean? We just wanted clarification if that's possible.
When it comes to very cleverly spelled words, yes, there are such things. Several of the factories have been neutralized.
Good.
This is a subject we will not touch further. Just know that many of what you call people in the position of they show me people standing in offices of several geometric shapes.
Yes.
Oftentimes, they may come in several forms, and as humans, may also carry several masks. And yes, there are still those hybrids that are polarized to both positive and the negative. In factuality, many of you may be hybrids. You may know, you may not know. You are now listening to one who came here to fulfill her mission as one. And but when it comes to those that are polarized to the dark, we must say that the time of revelation and the kind of they show me again the energy, almost like, how could I, it's almost like the amount of energy and how fast it resonates is like it's rising and it's rising and it's rising. And the higher it goes and faster it moves, the more complicated and more they are kind of searching for a word to use. Uncomfortable,
yeah,
and contradicted. Those who are projected to the dark are feeling. And if you should be wondering, how do you, like almost like, how do you determine, like they are showing me people just waiting in the bus office or walking in the street. And these people, how could they kind of start to figure out from their surroundings? And this is not just, hybrids of anything, but this is just, the people around them, who they are working with, connecting, whose videos they are watching, who they are associating with. Maybe their workmates, maybe their friendship groups, hobby circles, any, groups of people they are associating with. It's almost like they now throw me to the truth movement. And they are telling that it's a very good idea to protect oneself and do not bow to any names or faces. And when you start to watch a video of anyone, just stop at the very beginning and start to kind of feel that they show me kind of like, put your hands on your heart space and almost like check with yourself, how do you feel? If that feels right, then carry on. If that feels draining, and they are telling me be very mindful with what is draining your energies and what is giving you energy, because we are going through such a kind of a very narrow loophole, and the more it's even the more energy you're working with. And they encourage me to give a personal example here. Like this week, I've been extremely mindful. Where do I put my energy to? I'm actually writing a list. I'm writing a list of every single thing I do at which time. Does it deplete my energies? Does it rise up my energies? And I'm prioritizing rest for the after I don't know how many years. It's almost like you have to do that, especially if you're dealing with a lot of energy, or if you have the sort of energy that, maybe the dark one may be interested in your energy. It's almost like you need to be your own soldier and almost like border patrol at this moment. So do that also when you watch these videos, and really search for them and look for them. Do they have do they spontaneously, and you could get this too, but do they have information that kind of comes immediately to them? Is it pure, the information? Does it feel right? How does the information make you feel? Does the information make you feel a bit discombobulated, or kind of like, huh, what was that? Something like, does it feel right? If it doesn't feel right, your soul knows. Or does the information feel calming to you? Or does the information feel uplifting to you? Because these are the sensations of higher vibrational frequencies. And if you don't get them, again, they encouraged me to give an example. I was actually linked not too long ago, a channel by a lady I hadn't watched before, by these two fine ladies here. And immediately 2 minutes in, and I was enamored with her energy, because she was so bright and shiny. She was like a sunshine. And it was a refreshing change, because you really have to be very diligent about who you are. It's almost like whose energies you welcome in. Be mindful of that. And also with your groups of friends, or workmates who you want to spend your time with, think about, do my energies feel depleted? Because oftentimes people might steal your energy without even knowing that, without even intending that. But this is the kind of a time when even, light workers or healers might need that extra strength. And this is very important time for all of us. This has come across the board so strongly this week, not just on my case, that we really need the rest, and we really need to start taking care of ourselves. And this is something exactly opposite what we are being trained to do from the very childhood. So this is something we really need to be mindful of. And this has, for me, this has been a very steep learning curve. And just 2-3 days onto making notes about what do I do every day. There are things that have become increasingly clear to me. Are we born with ET? Yes, those who have ET DNA come born with that, but this DNA may be dormant, and it will wake up. And that is if we kind of come through to the ascension. So we will reach the frequencies when any dormant energies and frequencies, it can no longer stay dormant. It needs to wake up, and it will wake up. And with that, will our capabilities and it's like, if I could describe it, telepathy opens. You can just look at a person and don't just listen to what people say, but look at the energy around them, and kind of see what is the energy point they come from to you. It's almost like, don't take as much time listening to what people say, but take notice in how they say that. Take notice in how does it make you feel.
Beautiful. And I just want to thank the Andromedans for that clarification with the hybrids, because we have been taught to think of them in a negative fashion. And so that was a beautiful clarification. Thank you so much.
And really, the worst thing you can do for yourselves is to be in any kind of emotional state of fear.
Yes.
Because you must understand that these that are projected to work for the how I like to say, undesirables. It's like potentiality of their power and their strength is weakening not just by day, but by minute and second of your Terran time. It's it's very dramatic. I'm being played very dramatic classical music, like a funeral song, just because they want to drill in just how like they so are running out of time, so basically they are showing me like they are just waiting, biding their time.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Beautiful. So talking about like the galactics and many people talk about star families. And first question is, what do our star families basically consist of? Galactic family or other helpers like angels and guides? And then secondly, are these star families guiding us through the awakening? If not, who is? And do we usually have the same star families throughout all of our lifetimes?
Good questions all. And this is something we actually look forward in discussing.
Good.
None of you come here alone. You come here with a group of people, and some of the people you see in this physicality, and some of the people remain unseen to your physical eyes if you look at the situation from a very dense perspective. If you reach higher vibrational frequencies, you will be capable of seeing your people that come in the non-physical form. In these groups of people, you have your collection of family from whichever experiences you have shared with them. These are the people that joined in with you to join on your mission here on your planet on this lifetime. But all of you have much broader groups of families in other star systems, in other planets. Many of you visit them during your human dream time, because in the astral, you find it much more easier to move because you are not imprisoned by your dense human bodies. We find often very difficult time accommodating your physical human bodies. There are special, we will not go into detail, but we have needed to take certain precautions so the denseness in your body doesn't explode your cellular system. So we find it rather more easier to transport you in your non-physical state. Did that clarify the question you posed?
I believe so.
Yeah. So they are assisting us through this awakening process, though. And are they the same throughout lifetimes? Or do they
change? They largely are like your families are your families. Your human lifetime, this needs to be explained further. Oftentimes, many of you humans experience this physicality very challenging. But when you transform to non-physicality, you really are capable of seeing that really your lifetime in this human suits that you have chosen is a mere blink of an eye. When you transmute, it doesn't feel such an arduous job as you feel it at the moment. We can understand why. And we do not mean to say that you have to understand the unimportantness of your now existence, but it is a very short way of existing in comparison to many of the other lifetimes you experience on so many other forms, on so many other places. And many of you travel a lot through time and through a lot of different worlds. Your families remain in these worlds, and oftentimes you travel with your own groups and you mingle and you meet again. And oftentimes you meet in physicality. Absolutely, oftentimes, more oftentimes you meet in your non-physical form as well. But the group of people you choose to come to in whichever form of existence, because your human suits are not the only suits you have worn, nor are they the last ones. But depending on which suit you are choosing to wear and on which form of existence you will choose, and your people also will choose to come in accordance to your mission, in accordance to what you intend to do in this lifetime. So if you will, you have this, we are tempted to use the expression round table before you choose to come into your physical existence, and you choose which people to take on with you to physicality. And these people come up by themselves as well, whether to join you on this mission. And once they do decide to join you, they come here to assist you with your mission. And you must understand that these people are always there with you, regardless whether you experience them or not. We mean whether you see them or not. Many of them are waiting for you just to reach out and ask for our help, because we will perform what you call miracles when needed. But we need to be asked. This is the law of non-interference. Once we are asked, we are invited, and this is when we can start working. This is where progress happens. This is where your missions shall rise, and your intentions that you chose when you came here can start to live a life of their own, and we can start and raise frequencies. And when we rise frequencies, we do not rise frequencies only of the physicality that chose to come here in this time human form. But when a frequency changes, that has a ripple effect on the outside perimeter of the person. And when a person heals, when a person rises in frequency, that only does not affect your human collective, in this case, human collective. This also has an effect on the planet and the planetary system to which you chose to come to. There is no such thing as an accidental arrival to the planet, though oftentimes you may think, why did this and that person may choose to come here? Oftentimes a soul may have just wanted to come and try to come here and decided, yeah, this was not for me, or this is too hard, or I will choose. Humans might say takes his backsies. I will choose to do something else somewhere else instead, or I will need to wait for a while until, say, maybe the physicality of parents are more prepared. But know that every human being that exists now chose to come here for a reason or the other. We now are talking about the humans that chose to come here as souls, not those shells we were talking about earlier.
And pets? Does that include our pets?
Your pets are your group of people. Many of your pets chose to come in a form of a pet so they can pester you adorably, and you tolerate that and encourage that. We have seen it happen very closely. But your pets, you humans, have this illusion that you choose your pets, but really it's the other way around. They choose you. They too come here with a mission. Every life force that comes here in physicality has a job of their own. Even your pets, oftentimes, especially your pets.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
you.
The next question, actually, you partially answered, and a lot of these follow suit. And it is basically about this period of time we're living in right now, currently, and many call it the awakening. That is a term we will discuss later or ask about. But the question was, do we really volunteer to come here to experience this period of time? Or is there a factor about us being chosen to be here to help at this time and we agreed to it? And secondly, is it true that we have hundreds and thousands and millions that we've had those kind of lifetimes, which you did touch on? So I believe that you answered that. But are the old souls the ones that seem to be more aware and awake at this time? And the younger souls are the ones who are in a more of a sleeping and unaware state? Or can you put them in a group like that? I hope that makes sense.
We understood your questions.
Thank you.
To insinuate that any physicality would have been chosen would insinuate that you are cattle to a higher force.
Okay.
Each person has free will. Each person that has chosen to come here, or to whichever planet for that matter, has chosen in their soul form to arrive. No one has power over you. You are a free being, free to do your own choices. And this is the way you mold your future and your what you call destiny. Nothing really is set in stone. You do make your own choices. You can return and continue on if your mission gets, if you will, halfway, not completion, so not completed. But you do choose to come here. Oftentimes, group of souls hold negotiations and gather up together before appearing into physicality. And oftentimes you make agreements to meet during your lifetime, during your physicality, to come together to further your intentions. It is like they show me like a way ahead that you chose to join in on the same journey, on the same road. Which were the other questions?
It had to do with basically, you already answered that, yes, we have had hundreds, thousands, and millions of lifetimes.
Yeah, they'd like to. Sorry, I was so in a zone. I was
fine.
Half out of it. Anyways,
and then
life
and then
is eternal, because life is energy flow.
Yes.
Life has ever been here and always will be here. Just the form of life is different. What you have expression, young souls, old souls.
Yes.
So this is, they are showing me like a big, almost like a big bowl of plasma. And this is energy. And a cluster of plasma is formed into a soul, into an energy. And this takes on a physical form. So this physical form, this soul that is inside this physical form, depending on how, it's almost like how much experience, it sounds like this, sounds kind of awful, but how much it has endured, how much physicality it has experienced, how much it has learned and evolved. It's like the further the vibration is high. And oftentimes so they want to come through fully now. Oftentimes, you may wonder why certain negative events come upon a one person. But this one person, you must understand, has chosen to experience this because they knew before they transformed here that they could take on this mission. And oftentimes these missions are chosen. So these people, in a way, they are showing me a big black umbrella, almost like you put all these, other people underneath the umbrella. So, okay, they want to come through again. It's almost like these souls have chosen to protect a certain amount of people with their energy. And oftentimes they have chosen to learn very arduous and hard and cruel lessons just so that their physicality and human is very connected to their soul level from very early stages of their lives. And this way, it's almost like it is a very cruel way to live one's life, though it doesn't last for long, but it does offer a very almost like a quantum leap in a lifetime in frequently in like a frequency. Like when you do overcome that, it's almost like the saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and they almost want this kind of a phrase to be said, and they say it actually is true. It doesn't feel fair, but it is true. And oftentimes hard lifetimes, this is, so somebody is listening who is kind of finding this very harsh to hear, so they want to give the other kind of it's almost like they want to show the other side of a bread. They show me a toast. Actually, they use these human visions like that, just to make it more clear. Funny thing to think about a toast on this kind of a connection anyways, but they want to show the other side of this toast, and that is if you are met with very say if you have a special needs family member, or you've chosen to take care of people with very severe disabilities, is like if you are met with something, now they show me a domestic situation. So these are probably to a few people, good few people who are watching these, or something awful that's happened in a childhood that would never, ever should happen to a young person. So it's almost like you may have come here to take on not only karmic debts, but also you may be preparing for your next lifetime. So they are saying you may live this life and these experiences because you have chosen to have a very restful lifetime when you are born to the next suit you are wearing, in which case they kind of show me a hammock, a palm tree, a beach, a sea, and grapes and fans around you. Like this is equivalent of that. It's almost like I'm getting the energy like they almost want to hug you, and now I'm feeling kind of emotional here. And it's like it's really a short lifetime, even if it feels like it's a long and difficult path to walk. But you would not have chosen the path if you didn't have the capability and the strength to walk through that path. And once you do walk through that path, it's like you may be gearing up for your next lifetime, during which lifetime you have absolutely no worries in the world. And they want me to give you it was either in my early 20s or 30s. This was in my early 20s. So I have this soul partner who, for my sanity, thank you very much, used to pick me up very often, and we would travel to different places oftentimes when I was in my dream state. And once he took me to a planet, and if I could start describing, and they want to give this image just because we've most of the people here only have experience of this planet, but how it really feels to live on, some of these other planets. Imagine that there is so much oxygen that you barely need to breathe. It's almost like oxygen gets infused through your cells in your body. And everything was purple, like the air was purple. And there were these long grasses on a lake or a pond, and they were humming in the wind, and it was almost like this very melodic, harmonious tune came from there. And I saw two swans swimming in the water that was pink, and the swans were light purple in color. Everything was in shades of purple and pink, and the air was fragrant to breathe. And I can't begin to express how good it felt to be there. And you really, really felt like your heart space was going to explode, because everything felt that good and that beautiful and complete. So there are so many other places, and that's just one example. There are so many examples of life and worlds and planets and solar systems. This is not the only one. And many of the people who experience these hardships here have come here as almost like heavy lifters. So they do understand and respect the fact that many people feel this can feel very kind of oppressing and hard. But still they give me that you only are responsible of your own vibrational feeling space. You can never blame the outside conditions of how you feel. Because when you take ownership of your own feeling space and you change your frequency, you change your vibrational space, the world around you will change. It must, it is the law, and you will see it change. So rather than looking at other people, wanting them to change or wanting them to be other than what they are, wanting them to please you in any kind of a way in their appearance or expression or whichever or worldview, political view, or any of that nonsense. They actually use the word any of that nonsense. Look into yourselves and see that what is there that needs to be healed inside of you. Because when you find that place of, they give me this energy of serenity. When you reach that energy will it's almost like it will exude from you. It will almost like your energy field will be filled with it, and others will feel the experience as well. It's only it's not just a service to yourselves and really necessity at this time, but also that way you're doing a compliment to others.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your detailed description of things, and so many of these answers are touching on a multitude of questions that we will possibly re-ask in different ways. So I appreciate your time and attention. Stephanie, your turn.
I like this question too. When we say we can hear our higher selves talk to us, is it really our higher self? Is this true? Or are we hearing our guides, star families, or others, all of the above? And secondly, some say they are talking to God. I would say the more religious types, but is that the same thing as talking to our higher self as it is all source?
all of these are a possibility, really. Now, so this is religion is very loaded, and they kind of want to prepare the answer in a way that doesn't bring any kind of a discombobulation to the answer. So all of you have the capability of connecting to creation or creator. Many of groups of people, you have legends of the great spirit, the creator, divinity, depending on culture and depending on, they show me almost like years and centuries go forward and back, has been both feminine and masculine. But really what it's almost like behind all of these names is the connection to creation. And all of you have, it's like they show me the life force that it's like they show me a flame in your chest area, in it, like it's in the heart area and above solar plexus. And so that is the you can say God spark. If that brings you joy and delight, use that, use whatever word brings you joy and heightens your frequencies. It is not a bad or wrong thing to talk about God, because God really is creation. And when you hear your higher self or angels, if you are very tuned in, you can make a description between angelics, and you can make difference between different, it's like they show me again these groups of people. I can determine which one of my people are talking or which group of my people are talking. But if you feel right about the message, it doesn't, they even say that don't get too caught on the detail. When you are protected, when you are being cleared, when you are clear in your energies, where you are getting the answer from comes from higher dimensional sources, regardless whether that is your angels, whether that is your galactics, whether that is your guides, your soul families. They do want to speak with you. They do want to connect with you. They came here to be your assembly of people. They came here to be your assembly of, you can use, they are giving me kind of a, like almost like a tsunami of names. You can even use, and don't think about it as serious. It's not as serious. Your life there isn't serious. You should be having more fun. Why are you not having more fun? Rejoice in your physicality. Jump in. They show me muddy puddles. Go and jump in them. Look at children. What do they do? Follow them. It's like you can give them names. You can talk about your entourage or your posse, or your family, or your people. It doesn't matter, really. They are your group of people that chose to come here with you for the mission, and they are here to help you. And they are happy to communicate with you. They just, it's almost like they want the opening invitation to come from you first, and they are more than happy to join in on the conversation. And really, you can, they encourage me to express, like, I get very detailed advice. I was driving basically across the country not too long ago, and all of a sudden the roads were empty. There was absolutely no one else because it was such an early hour, and I was driving through the mountains. So it's kind of like you don't really meet up to many people. It's a very secluded area. But they told me to slow down my car And then I saw a bus stop and they told me to go and sit there. And I was there probably about a minute. I don't think I was there even 2 minutes, certainly not 3 minutes. And then they told me you can start and drive. And I had like, and normally, just a normal speed. So I don't know what that was. That was kind of a cleared off away from my way, but I knew it was something. Like when you get that gut feeling, that kind of a sensation, even if you don't have a whole slew of people, chatting about your head, you may not hear that because that may feel too out of reach for you. But if you feel the gut feeling, the trust that probably is your own soul trying to get to you, your own higher self trying to get to you, or one of your guides or several of your guides, if you have a gut feeling to absolutely to do something or to not do something, listen to that voice. And when you get an inspiration, like I can't not do that thing, that is the universe trying to basically push you and do the thing that is right for you. So if you feel the kind of like a burning desire, like I found hand spinning lately, and it's awful. I can't start it in the evening because I do not want to stop, and I can go and spin throughout the night, and that's not good for my hands, and that's not good for my sleep. So it's almost like find something that brings you joy, and the whole of the universe and your posse is basically right there behind you, cheering you on to continue what that is. But also keep in the reins, because you also are most capable of understanding the physicalities of the world you are living. Like they don't often understand that things actually cost money, because money doesn't exist there where they come from. They may show you like, this is great, now you can get it. I was like, not exactly, because I have to pay the monies. And they're like, why would you have to pay for anything? Because everything should be available for everyone that want or need something. So remember also to kind of keep a very friendly, but almost like you hold the reins to your own life. No one gets to make decisions for you. And even if you ask for guidance, ask it in a right way. And you also make the choice whether you follow the guidance or you do it your own way. But I've learned that when it comes to traffic, something that has to do with security, or maybe I move a lot in the woods. Like if there is something that I'm being told to not go to a certain part of the forest, or to not go at all, or to go to a certain place, I listen to that message because I know it comes from my guides. It comes from my source. It comes from my soul. So it's like all of us have a higher knowing that is eternal and basically all knowing. So listen to yourselves and be kind to yourselves and take care of yourselves.
That's beautiful. Anything else, Stephanie? For that? Nope. I just want to thank them for the confirmation when it comes to people that we live amongst that we don't think understand us. We can use that. We call it our inner knowing, you know what I mean, or our intuition, and as what people will call. And we can at least have them, focus on that, and that would be a good start for them in all this process. But it has been a little while now that we have been doing this, and we so appreciate this. And I would like to ask the Andromedans if they would like to take a rest at this point and carry on another day, or what do they say?
They are happy to join in whenever they feel that. Whenever we are invited, we will be happy to join.
Yeah, I'm thinking that this video we don't want to make it too lengthy. And they have done some. Thank you so much for Andromedans and the Galactic Collective for coming to join us and help us with these questions. and give clarification. And I hope that people out there, it will help them discern more clearly through the things that have been tossed around and people are aware of. So this is a beautiful thing to do, and we are so appreciative of their
Very
time
grateful.
and attention.
Yes.
So in closing, I want to tell those that are listening, honestly, we still have some questions we didn't get to because the Andromedans are so gracious at giving us wonderful descriptions and answers, and I appreciate it. But if you have any specific questions that you would like us to include in future programming, I will attach my email down, or I'll pin it below the video. And that's just because it's a dedicated email pretty much for questions. You may just make sure it's clear for the Andromedan Q&A program instead of the pendulum one. So anyway, we definitely welcome your feedback. If you put that kind of stuff in the comments, they don't always get collected and put in a list for it to be asked. But we appreciate everyone who joined us today, and we look forward to doing this again in the near future. So
Wonderful.
And
Thank you.
one more thing. This is just, you know, a kind of a housekeeping here. I've needed to, from my personal YouTube channel, I've needed to remove a few comments. I've been getting, thank you, wonderful links, really. But for some reason, this format doesn't support the links in the comment section. So whenever there are links in the comment section, automatically, unfortunately, I need to remove them, because it's almost like it attracts unwanted attention immediately. So if you wish, and I welcome the links, if you wish to send, I will put underneath my description box the email to me as well, and you can send those links via email, because that is a more kind of a appropriate way to send them. But I apologize, I don't wish to make anyone feel rejected or slighted by removing the comments, but that is just because of for some reason, and there are many kind of a like
reasons
that may or may not make sense to people, but this is just one of those reasons that links are not it's not recommended to put them on the comment section.
Yes.
Because I will need to remove them.
Perfect. Thank you for that clarification. And again, if you really want to be able to have a more of a conversation, an email is a better choice, because there's not going to be, we're not really going to entertain a bunch of back and forth about a certain subject, you know, in the comment section either. And I want to clarify, if you want to send questions for this particular program, do not email them to Daena, because we don't want her to see the questions beforehand.
Right.
So
Exactly.
just want to clarify that.
I am left in the dark.
Yeah, left in the dark.
But
Anyway,
that's the whole intention.
Yes,
that's the whole
exactly.
intention, because the answers, they don't come from me, they come through me, and the people who are answering these questions are more than capable of just giving the answers.
And if they're not willing to answer, they will let us know, because there are questions that
and
they
also
may not be willing to answer.
also probably also the reason why they will choose to not answer the question, or to answer, like there were a couple of questions that they said that, you know, this is the extent we are going to disclose.
And that's perfect. You know, we're testing the waters. We're testing the waters. We're just kind of learning as well, but we are trying to possibly address and get clarification on many of the things that you've had questions about. And did we hear it correctly the first time? You know what I mean? And so that's perfectly fine to at least try to get their insight and confirmation or not on that. So anyway, we wish you all a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in this place. So and until we meet again.
Joining us.
Yes, until we meet again, we say goodbye and have a good one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.